most pupils are not equally good at all subjects. And if you're very good at one subject, that's extremely helpful. I mean, just a limited number of independent schools offer these summer camps. Harrow certainly does, so I know all about summer camps. So I would say, first of all, it's a really good thing to go on a summer camp. And many of my Hong Kong pupils had been actually on the Harrow Summer School. So they knew all the buildings, they knew their way around a boarding house, they'd learned a lot about the school before they came. But if the school that your child might be going to does not have a summer camp, just sign up for another summer camp. There are plenty of them available. It's a very good idea.
Dr. Liliana, have you had students who've done the same sort of thing, gone to the UK for some exposure?
So I haven't had personally any students from Hong Kong who did that, but when I was in the UK, I taught on something that was called the Oxbridge Academic Programme, and they actually have programs in different European capitals as well. So it's a way of getting, and they bring students from all around the world. So in terms of, it won't be a specific school, maybe it will be linked to a particular university, but it is a good way of getting students exposed to different styles of learning, to different kinds of students, and also if they're in a particular university town, then they also obviously get exposure to that university itself. So I think, there are these things that are still around, but obviously right now, as you said, it's not on right now, but I think maybe in the future, it could be something that Hong Kong students could look into. So not just the summer camps at schools, but also those that are offered by universities.
Well, I mean, there are something like 12,000 secondary schools in England. Are they saying, can I name one?
This is, it says give some examples. So I think it'd be good to just talk about why you can't give some examples.
Well, I can give examples.
Or it would be an enormous list if we were going to give lots of examples.
It would be a big list. So I'm very happy to give 2 or 3 examples now. So, but these are 2 or 3 out of perhaps 200 I could give. So my daughters went to a school called North London Collegiate School, which is in northwest London. It's for girls only. It's very academically selective. It's difficult to get in. My older daughter became the head girl, and the reason it was a brilliant school for her was not only did they have very, very good teachers, and many of the pupils went into Oxford and Cambridge, but the great thing was that my daughter is very intelligent, and it was very good for her personality to be working alongside other girls who were just as intelligent as her, because it's meant that she's not only was she pushed to do particularly well, but also she has within her a level of humility which stems from working alongside other children who were just as clever as her. So that was an example of a school which is very good, but for a limited range of just very intelligent girls who happen to live in northwest London. Okay, quite specific. Then I'll mention another school, Stowe School. Now, Stowe School, S-T-O-W-E, is in Buckinghamshire, and it's mainly, but not only, boarders. It's for boys and girls. And Stowe has a very wide ability range. So its average exam result it's a good average. But the point about Stowe is that despite the fact it has quite a wide ability range, it has very good, what I call value added, and what the British government calls progress. In other words, the children there get pretty good results relative to their ability. So I, for example, had one of my goddaughters went there. She was not particularly academic. She wouldn't call herself academic. And she got pretty average exam results, but good enough to go on to university. She had a lovely time there. She played lots of sports. She did lots of societies. She made many friends who she's still in touch with. They'll be lifelong friends. And it's just a very successful, well-run school in the middle of the league tables. And then thirdly, I mentioned my own, the school I set up, the London Academy of Excellence in East London. So it's only for children aged 16 to 18. It's a day school. But, you know, we got 33 pupils into Oxford and Cambridge this year. The average A-level grade is A. So it's in the top 20 state schools in the country. There is no catchment area. You can apply from anywhere probably in the east side of London, but there's no fixed catchment area because it's for sixth formers. But it's difficult to get in. There are 3,000 applicants each year for 250 places. But of course, it's a really good school. At what age is my child going to be able to leave home and go to a school? And what about me as a parent? You know, what am I going to feel about it? Some parents are happy for their children to go to a boarding school when they're 11 or 13. Others are not happy, but they become happy when the child is 16. But beyond that, the main thing is to try and get your child to start in the United Kingdom at the beginning of a natural entry period. In other words, at the age of, well, 7, most importantly, the age of 11 or 13 for some schools, and then most important of all, 14. 14 is when the GCSE curriculum begins. In some schools it begins at 13 actually, but let's say for the moment, the critical ages are 13, 14 and 16. You want to try and hit those ages and avoid starting at the age of 15 or 17.